everyone, it's Nell. I have a problem. I have been probably for my entire life collecting books. I have gotten a little bit better about it over the last, I would say, 5 years maybe, really trying to make sure that the books that I'm buying are ones that I'm really, really interested in, not just buying because somebody else has recommended it, not just buying it because it is the next book in a series that I own or have read, but maybe don't want to continue with. I have just always had a book problem. I always have wanted to read faster than I do. And so I buy a lot of books anticipating to read them and don't get around to them. I also will prioritize the books that I get from the library because I only have a short amount of time with them. I've been on a wait list. So I have accumulated so many books. I have tried to recently limit myself on the books that I'm getting, and I really tried to have a whole year of not buying any books. I made it to maybe March, April. So I did well, but I'm still have so many books. Most of the books that I own are books that I haven't read, because the books that I have read, I only keep the ones that I love and I'm either going to read again, reference in some way, or loan out to friends. Like, those are the only reasons why I keep it. If it was just all right, if I hated it, whatever, I get rid of those books. So I don't keep them. So out of the probably 600 books that I own, maybe 100, optimistically 200 would be read. That's probably pushing it. I would probably say 100 books are read. And some of them I bought so long ago that I don't even remember why I bought them, or people gave them to me because they were done with their classes, so they didn't need that book anymore, or they were moving and wanted to get rid of things. And so, loving books and loving to read, I took those in. And now I have so many books in my house. It is daunting almost, just the amount of books that I have. I feel like it's creeping into my life a little bit, as far as constantly seeing all of those books that I haven't read, that it's sort of that's just another item to add to your to-do list, just another thing that you need to do, another, a sign of wasting money, of taking up space in our house. Our house is probably, I would say, 1,200. It's a little over 1,200 square feet. It's not huge. I would say it's very modest, but we do have so much stuff. And so I know it's been kind of hard when I'm telling my husband that he needs to get rid of these things that he's not using, and then I see all these books. So it's, am I going to read them ever? Am I still interested in them? Why am I hanging on to them? Especially books that I didn't buy. It doesn't matter. I didn't waste money on it. There's just something in me saying, if you get rid of that, you're going to want to keep that. The problem is that I have had that, though, in the past, where I have gotten rid of books or movies, and then a year or two later think, why did I get rid of that? I wish I still had that. I want to watch it again. I want to read it again. And especially with some of the stupid things that I have, like the B movies or the trashy historical romance novels, those are out of print. And if I get rid of them, I'm probably never going to find them again. So it has kind of made me assess which items I'm getting rid of. So if I'm getting rid of something, I need to make sure that, number one, it's something that I really don't want anymore. And number two, something that even if I don't want it now, if I'm getting rid of it, it needs to be fairly easy to find again. So it needs to be something that is maybe a bestseller. It needs to be something that my library has, or that a friend has, or that I can find on the internet, or whatever. So what I did is I went through my bookshelves and I pulled out the 10 books that I would say I'm the least interested in reading. So what I'm going to do here is kind of go over them, show you which books they are, maybe how I acquired them, what they're about, and then what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to do more than just the triad chapter with these. What I'm probably going to do is, I'm going to say the first 50. The first 50 pages. I feel like by 50 pages, I'm going to know the setting, the characters, the writing style. I have one here that is a little bit on the shorter side, so I might give myself less than that. So what is that? So let's say an average book is 400 pages. 50 would be 1/8 of the book. So whatever 1/8 of that short book is, I'll give it that. But the rest of these are pretty normal length books, so I will give them 50 pages. The first book I have is Fall from Grace by Larry Collins. I got this book in high school, so 15 years I've had this book at least. I have no idea. It's about, I guess, got some guy who looks like Hitler. We've got some planes, and this is, I believe, a World War II book about Nazis. Catherine Prater, beautiful, sophisticated, dedicated, the most valuable agent the Allies had in France, as the D-Day invasion that would decide the future of the world drew nearer. Hans-Dieter Strahlenberg. I think I thought that this would be both historical and still kind of, not really a romance novel, but almost sort of that glamour genre of, just risque. I don't know. It sounds interesting. It sounds interesting enough, but again, I've had it for 15 years. I've never picked it up. I think I've picked it up a few times, and it's, So we start off in 1973, and there's a top secret document, and we're in Germany. Two small details gave the black opal away to the trained eye. First were the letters on the license plate, BG, for Bad Godesberg, the Bonn suburb where most Western intelligence agencies had their German headquarters. It's just kind of dry. It seems very masculine and very dated, so I don't know. We'll see. Next is the shorter book I told you about, which is Lieutenant Nunn. My sister read this for something in college and gave it to me with a bunch of other books. This is one of the earliest known autobiographies of a woman. The Extraordinary Tale of Catalina de Eraso in 1599. I like history, but I do seem to enjoy and connect more to modern history, I would say, 1700s and beyond. 1599, I don't know. Her being a nun, too, I'm not religious. However, it's still drawing me in thinking about one of the earliest known autobiographies of a woman. So the feminist in me is wanting to read this to see what it's about. However, my sister also said that it wasn't very well written. So I'm like, do I want to devote time to it? So, oh my goodness, it is a very short book. It is, we're going to say 80 pages. 80 pages, 26 chapters. I mean, I could very easily read this. Just skim reading it. I could probably get it done in an hour at that. I don't know. But it also just seems so incredibly boring. So I will give myself maybe, let's say for this sucker, 10 pages. 10 pages to see if it's interesting enough to read. If not, I can always, I guess, look up the Wikipedia page on her. Next, we have Scruples by Judith Krantz. Honestly, I think I bought this book because in the 90s Tim Allen movie Jungle to Jungle, at the end, they're in the library and the one bad guy pulls out a book and says, hey, Scruples, yeah. Found it at the bookstore and I'm like, yeah, all right, well, I should give it a shot because of that. So this is a spellbinding story of the rise of a fascinating woman from fat, unhappy, poor relative of an aristocratic Boston family to a unique position among the super beautiful and super rich. So some fat woman then becomes she's like the fat, unhappy, poor relative. She then becomes rich and beautiful and fame and wealth and power. It's goofy glamour novel from the 80s or 90s, I believe. When is this? So this is from 1978. It's probably going to be boring as hell. I'm probably not going to care, but then part of me is, it might be so bad that it's good. I don't know. Do I want to devote well over 550 pages to something that's so bad it's good? Doubtful, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot. The next was a cover buy, if you can believe that. It's Malona. I don't know. It just looks so ridiculous. The main girl, I don't know if you can see her. She looks like Stockard Channing. It says fate meant them for each other. From the moment he appeared in the midst of a violent storm to rescue her from being crushed beneath the wheels of a runaway carriage, lovely Laurie Matthews felt with mysterious certainty that Chase Cretin was designed to play a vital part in her life. Like, it's goofy. It's going to be a goofy romance novel. It's got, like, I think, a 2 something on Goodreads. It's probably going to be horrible. But again, is it going to be so bad that it's good? Or is it going to be just plain bad? We'll see. Next is The Last Hope Girls by Susie Boyd. I know nothing about this book. My friend Katie went to England when she was in college, and she got a whole bunch of books at a library sale there, and this is one of them. So I held on to it because it's interesting. It's got the, like, weird cover thing that all of the books have. It doesn't even say it, like, the city from it has completely Westchester Libraries, City of Westchester Libraries, maybe, for 30 pence. So yeah, it's cool, but I don't know. It's probably not something that I'm really interested in reading. It says, newly installed as live-in caretaker of 4 Oxford Street flats, Martha Brazil can scarcely believe her luck. After years of stuffy bedsits and seedy suburban flat shares, the future seems electric with promise of renovation and repair. Cruising her local department store by day and thrilling to the sounds of revelry that float through her window at night, it strikes her that surely an independent young person with flair and a surplus of willpower ought to shine in such a setting. But when out of the blue a copy of her father's latest novel falls into her hands, it offers Martha a view of her world and of her wayward family she can only ignore at her peril. Like, I want to fall asleep even reading the back of this. This sounds boring as hell. I don't know, but, like, at the same time, maybe it's cute, maybe it's funny, and my friend Katie enjoyed it, so. Next is Small Town Girls by Pamela Wallace. This one I have probably had maybe the longest. I don't even remember if I bought this, or if my mom saw it at a garage sale and thought of me, I don't know. So it's about a bunch of friends that live in a small town, and they, like, get successful or something. Yeah, now 20 years later, a secret has come to light, and one of them must pay a price, a terrible price, a huge price. Oh no. It just sounds, again, like old lady literature. It sounds boring. It's got a boring cover. But at the same time, maybe I might be missing out. I don't know. It's so hard. But, okay, it seems bigger than it is. It is like 600 pages, but, like, this seems pretty chunky. But, I mean, look, it's got some nice fat font. Nice large fat font. It's, I don't know, 50 pages. We'll do 50 pages and we will find out. Next is The Cottage by Danielle Steele. I don't know how this woman keeps getting published. She might be the worst writer I have ever read. And she's published. And she's a national, maybe even international bestseller. It baffles me. It baffles me. I can't tell you about this book either, because on the back we just get a goofy picture of Danielle Steele. So, The Cottage. I think this is set in LA, and there might be a car driver. I don't know. It's Danielle Steele. It's some glitzy, rich romance. It might involve World War II and the Nazis, because her family, Danielle Steele's family, had something to do. They were somebody in her family was Jewish and I think escaped Nazis, and so she writes that into a lot of her books. So maybe not. Don't know. Next is Loyalties by Julie Ellis. Check out that cover. What is that cover telling me? Roses and pearls and lace? Rich? Glitzy? Glamour? It's about 2 friends. They're bonded together, driven apart by rivalry. I don't know. Anne and Felicia. So we have this cover this cover. And what is the opening quote? Henry David Thoreau. I think my mom got this for me. So again, I could easily get rid of this. I could. But something about it just is stupidly drawing me in and saying, give it a shot. Give it a shot, see what it's about. It might be great. I don't know. We'll see. The next one is Cardinal Sins. Again, I got this one in high school. It seemed kind of like this weird romance between like a cardinal and some like Catholic schoolgirls or something. What is that? What is that about? I think something in this being maybe some sort of a glitzy romance, a forbidden romance or something. It's from the 80s. It's, again, a horrible, silly cover. It's 6 months, though, on the national bestseller list. So that's a substantial amount of time. I've never heard of Andrew M. Greeley. That could just be me and what I read, but I haven't heard of him. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what that one's all about. The last, like, I can't even look at this. Like, all of these covers, like, they should tell you these books are bad. Get rid of them, but no. But yeah, this one's called Sensations by Virginia Carey. So, Sensations. It's got 2 men, 1 woman, caught in a struggle of power and passion. Intimate Paris bistros to dazzling New York night spots. Again, it's one of those glitzy, stupid glamour novels from like the 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s. When is it from? 88. So this is from 88. So this is from my lifetime at least. She was torn between one man's glittering promises and another's elusive desire. She also kind of reminds me of Lucy Lawless. Maybe that's why I keep it. Because, yeah, she looks kind of like Lucy Lawless. It's called Sensations. Like, that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous name. It's not super long. It's like 300 pages. And again, it's got that chunky fat font. So it won't take too long to read. But yeah, so that's book number 10. So these are the 10 books that I am least interested in reading. I will get these all, again, 50 pages except for that Lieutenant Nun book. That one I'll give 10, maybe. I'm going to give all of these a shot by reading at least the first 50 pages, and I will come back and update you to see if I want to continue reading them or if they're out of here. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, and I will have a new one for you soon.